pictures. Words and pictures. Do you know where the vegetables you buy in the shops are grown? They're grown on farms. The farmer grows the vegetables, and when they're ready, he harvests them and sells them to shops and markets. This is a vegetable farm, but with a difference. Here, the farmer doesn't pick the vegetables and take them to the shops and the markets. On this farm, we pick the vegetables ourselves. At the end of each row of plants, there's a label and some polythene bags to carry the vegetables in.
Marrows and courgettes. Come on, let's go this way. There.
You decide what you want to pick and then help yourself. But you have to pick carefully so you don't damage the plants. This is a courgette. But if courgettes are left to grow bigger, they become marrows.
Broad beans.
These grow on fairly small plants, quite close to the ground. As they ripen, the pods get tough, and that makes them hard to pull away from the stem. Most farms grow a wide range of vegetables, so you have plenty to choose from. There are several different kinds of beans. This is another one. These don't grow near the ground, they grow high on a leafy wall. They're called runner beans, and they're very good to eat. But I don't know whether Nutmeg's much help picking them.
I'm picking calabrese.
And when you eat calabrese, you only eat the flower buds, so that's the bit you pick. And I'm picking sweet corn. And look at the size of these plants. They're taller than I am. Now, the cobs of corn grow out of the side of the stems. And if you open them up, inside there, you can see the yellow grains of corn. The only problem is, I keep losing Nutmeg in this jungle. Nutmeg? Nutmeg! Nutmeg! Nutmeg!
Potatoes grow most comfortably under the ground. If they can see the sun, then they go green and are not nice.
Mr. Gray, the farmer, is digging up a plant to show his customers how potatoes grow. One potato, planted in the spring, grows into a plant, and that plant makes a whole cluster of new potatoes under the soil. When they're fully grown, the plant begins to die, and the potatoes can be dug up.
I'll put them at your feet. That all right? Coming over. They're lovely red potatoes. Delicious to eat.
But it would take much too long to dig up all the potatoes on the farm with a fork. When you grow vegetables to sell, you need machines to work with. This one scoops the potatoes from the ground and shakes them around until the earth falls off. The tractor drives slowly on, and the clean pink potatoes are left behind on the ground, ready to be picked up. We found out how much they cost from the price list. Potatoes, 10p a pound. When you've picked all the vegetables that you want, bring them along to the barn here to be weighed and paid for. Now, we've got 2 sweet corn, 20p each, and potatoes at 10p a pound. Potatoes, how much is that?
10p a pound, that's 36 for potatoes.
And 2 sweet corn, they're 20p each, aren't they?
20p each, that's 40 for corn. 76p.
Lovely. Oh, right. Cheers. Right, now, where's Nutmeg? Nutmeg!
Nutmeg, is Stuart still looking for you?
There we are, a bit of water. Hello. These are baby sweet corn plants. We're hoping they're going to grow into those tall plants that we saw on the farm that we visited last summer. It's amazing to think that something that small would probably eventually be taller than me. We had lots of fun on the farm, didn't we, Nutmeg?
Meow.
And we thought we'd have a go at growing some vegetables of our own. Here's some more of mine. Now, I planted these seeds a few days ago, and they've grown into mustard and cress. Very tasty in salads. Nutmeg's grown some too. Where are yours, Nutmeg?
Meow.
Well, these haven't grown at all.
Meow.
They're completely dry. Haven't you been watering them?
Meow.
Well, no wonder they haven't grown. The two things that most seeds need in order to grow are water and light, rain and sunshine. Now, the old man in our story today certainly knew about that, and that's how he managed to grow such an enormous turnip. Early one spring, an old man sowed a row of turnip seeds in his garden. As time went by, the rain rained on the seeds, and the sun shone down on them. And the turnips began to grow. At first, a pale green shoot, then one leaf, then two leaves. Every day they grew a little bigger. But one turnip seemed to be growing faster than all the others. Bigger and bigger it grew. The old man had never seen such an enormous turnip. Nor had his wife, the old woman. Nor had their granddaughter, the little girl. The old man said to his wife, the old woman, "Put our biggest pan on the stove and boil some water. Tonight we'll have turnip soup for supper." The old man gathered up the leaves of the enormous turnip and pulled. He pulled and pulled with all his strength, but he couldn't pull it up. So he called to the old woman, and the old woman came to help. The old woman pulled the old man. The old man pulled the turnip. They pulled and pulled with all their strength, but they couldn't pull it up. So the old woman called to the little girl, and the little girl came to help. The little girl pulled the old woman pulled the old man pulled the turnip. They pulled and pulled with all their strength, but they couldn't pull it up. So the little girl called to her friend the big dog, and the big dog came to help. The big dog pulled the little girl pulled the old woman pulled the old man, and the old man pulled the turnip. They pulled and pulled with all their strength, but they couldn't pull it up. So the big dog called to his friend, the black cat. And the black cat came to help. The black cat pulled the big dog pulled the little girl pulled the old woman pulled the old man pulled the turnip. They pulled and pulled with all their strength, but they couldn't pull it up. So the black cat called to her friend, the brown mouse. And the brown mouse came to help. The brown mouse pulled the black cat pulled the big dog pulled the little girl pulled the old woman pulled the old man, and the old man pulled the turnip. They pulled and pulled with all their strength, and suddenly out popped the enormous turnip. So that night, they all had turnip soup. There was plenty for everyone, and it was so delicious that some even had second helpings. Nutmeg's decided she wants to make some vegetable soup. Is this your cookbook?
Meow.
Have a look.
Meow.
Ah, here's the recipe. Leek and tomato soup. Nutmeg,
Meow.
where are the tomatoes?
Meow.
They seem to have vanished. Here's another vanishing vegetable. Vegetable. Vanishing vegetable. Vanishing vegetable. Both these words begin with the same letter. Here's how Magic Pencil writes it. Down and up. 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 Nutmeg's still looking for her vanishing vegetables. Perhaps she'll find them on Veggie Reggie's vegetable stall. Veggie Reggie, that's my name. I work in a market in Turnip Lane. Every morning you hear me call, come and buy your vegetables from Reggie's stall. Now I sell potatoes and onions too, leeks and carrots for your stew, lettuce, tomatoes and celery. Make a lovely salad for your tea. Veggie Reggie, that's my name. I work in a market in Turnip Lane. Every morning you'll hear me call, come and buy your vegetables from Reggie's stall. Now if you want asparagus or runner beans, ladies' fingers or aubergines, artichokes, avocado, pear, come to Reggie's stall, you'll find it there. Veggie Reggie, that's my name. I work in a market in Turnip Lane. Every morning you'll hear me call, come and buy your vegetables at Reggie's stall. Yes, Veggie Reggie, that's my name. I work in a market in Turnip Lane. Every morning you'll hear me call, come and buy your vegetables. Roll up now, buy your vegetables. Everybody buy your vegetables at Reggie's stall.
In 5 minutes, we'll be looking ahead to a